All right. Hey, everybody. So glad you could join us tonight. We are doing a recap of Leaders Retreat 2016. We all had a blast at Leaders Retreat. It was so much fun. I want to tell you, though, the people that went, I'm so excited for you guys. I'm so excited that you pushed so hard. You got there, you made it your goal, and you did it. You got it. You got there. You were able to spend all this time with everybody, learning from people from the top, and it was just super cool. But those of you that didn't make it this year, I want to encourage you, because those of us that were here this time, it was a lot of people's first time. So it can be your first time next year. Draw your line in the sand, say this is what I'm going to do, and just go for it. The contest will start, and you guys can start fresh just like the rest of us did. This year there were some people there that I heard that were actually silver ambassadors that pushed super duper hard to get there, which I thought was insane. And see, Jen is raising her hand because she was one of them. But it's so cool that at any rank you can make it there. It's doable. So I want you guys to know that, because next year you're all going to be there. Everyone on this call is going to be at Leaders Retreat, because you want to make it there. If you think about it, convention is huge. It's awesome. It's fun. We learn a lot and we have a blast, but it's not intimate. There are so many people at convention that you just don't have the chance to actually chat with everybody and really get to know them. And also, the rock stars that we think of, like Celeste Gwynn and Ame Darling, like all the people that we watch videos of that we think, oh my gosh, they're so amazing, you can actually talk to them at Leaders Retreat, because they're not going in 65 different ways trying to keep everybody happy at convention. They have time. They're walking down the hallways. You might run into them and say hello, take a picture. So it's just way more intimate than convention. So it's super cool. We also had the chance to have training that the rest of you guys didn't, but obviously we're going to bring it back to you because we want to share it with everybody as well. Also, it's fun to be there because you get the firsthand knowledge of things that are coming out, new things that are happening in Plexus. We posted some of those on our team page, the excitement about the new website, or actually going mobile, and different things like that. Like, you get to find out firsthand what's happening. So that's really a fun reason to be there as well. Let's see. Oh, and last year, I don't remember exactly how many people were there, and I don't want to say a number because then I'll feel bad if I leave someone out. But so last year we had about half as many as we had this year. So next year we're going to have twice as many as we do now. So just know that you guys all have the same opportunity to get there as the rest of us. Just because I've been in the business longer doesn't really make it any easier for me, because you have to have levels 1 through 4 working it. So that means I need to still sign my own people and have my own PV to get there. It doesn't mean I can ride on the shirt tails of anyone else. So I have to draw my line in the sand, just like you guys have to draw your line in the sand. If Sandra wants to get back there again next year, she's got to do the same thing. Alyssa, Jen, all of us. So we all have the same level playing field when the convention contest starts, and then we can go from there, which is, I just think is cool, because we all get to start over and we can all work really hard to get there. So I know you guys can get there too. So put that on your list of must do. This is what I'm going to do for next year. I'm going to make it to Leaders Retreat. So I think that would be so cool. While we were there, Plexus had amazing parties for us. I mean, we went to the welcome reception and we were welcomed by a band. It was a howdy party. It was like a hoedown. It was super fun. We walked in. There was amazing food. It was actually delicious. Tex-Mex bar that was so good. I loved my favorite thing was the street corn in the little mason jars. It's just so fun how they decorate everything to the T, like crazy over the top. You seriously can't even imagine until you get there how Plexus goes all out. So we first did that. The Halloween party was absolutely insane. The band was so cool. The dancers up front. I mean, you go to Plexus events and you think, oh my gosh, everything else is going to be so boring compared to this. I mean, it is seriously insane. And there's no way I could afford to go to a hotel that's that expensive, that I could actually go to these super fun parties and get in. I mean, you'd have to pay so much money to get in. So I just It's so cool how Plexus blesses us and just pours into us and wants to say thank you for all the amazing work that we've done. So I want you guys to get there too so that you can be a part of that. They also have really amazing speakers. I don't know if it was last year or the year before that Victor Antonio came and spoke with us, and he was really awesome. And this year we had a woman named Carrie Wilkerson. She's the Barefoot Executive. You can look her up online. You can actually follow her. She has amazing tips, and she's really, really down to earth and super cool. But they brought her in to speak to us and just pour into us about our businesses. So some of us on here are going to do some talking about what she spoke on while she poured into our lives. And one of the things I want to talk about that she talked about, because I thought it was really cool, she talked about, she started her talk with DNA, talking about DNA, how we all have different DNA, each and every one of us. But she was talking about what I thought was really, really cool, is she was talking about a caterpillar and a butterfly. And she was saying how a caterpillar and a butterfly have the exact same DNA. But if you think about it, a caterpillar is kind of ugly. It's like this little squirrely worm that is going to go into a cocoon. And when it's inside that cocoon, it's going to turn seriously into mush. It like turns into nothing. It's ugly and gross and inside this cocoon. And it's going through all of these changes, and things are hard for it. It has to do all of these things to eventually emerge as a beautiful butterfly. It has the exact same DNA, this ugly caterpillar in a cocoon that's turning into a butterfly. So if you guys think about that in life, like think about yourself, think about where you've come from in life, and then where you want to actually be. So you are going to have to go through ugly. It's going to have to get ugly and messy and scary and terrible at times to get to where you want to be. So same with our Plexus business. It's not always going to be super fun, super easy. Woohoo, this is an exciting party all day, every day. We are going to have to go through messy. We're going to have to go through things that are hard, that are not fun, that we never wanted to, that we thought that it was going to be just easy and fun, and we're going to have to go through those in order to come out as our beautiful butterfly, as what we want in our business, for our lives, for our families, changing people's lives. It's not, we're going to have people tell us no. We're going to have people not like our products. We're going to have people think this is a scam. We're going to have so many issues with so many different things, but we're going to come out in the end where we want to be if we go through that process. If we go through the process of working on it and changing ourselves and our mindset and realizing that we're not going to stop and we're not going to let anything stop us, those no's, those negative people, that mindset of people are pouring into us that are saying, this is silly, I don't know why you're doing this, but we're going to remember all of the reasons why we are doing this. I mean, I've gotten messages just this week about people and lives that have been changed. And I've read posts that people even on our team have posted about how their lives have been changed. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to go through all the mess, because it is messy. It's not always easy to get to the point where I want to be in the end. So my ultimate goal is to be a diamond. So I'm going to keep pushing through this mess to get to that ultimate goal. I just thought it was really cool that she pointed out the caterpillar and the butterfly, because I always thought about, a caterpillar transforms into a beautiful butterfly, but guess what? They have the same DNA. They are exactly the same, and they can go from that to that. So any of us, all of us, we can all go from the caterpillar to the butterfly as well. One thing that I cracked up to that Carrie did, and she also spoke while we were in Hawaii, which I thought was really fun. She had a great story. She told more of her backstory in Hawaii, so I loved that, because she is actually an adoptive mom like I am. She has a son with special needs, so I really connected with her, so it was really cool. So when I got to hear her again, I was just laughing at some of the things she said, but one thing she always says is stop it. Just stop it. Stop the excuses. Stop it, because we can all come up with 8 million excuses as to why we're not going to get to that butterfly, because life is too hard. I have children. I work full-time job. What else? I mean, I don't have time to get on team calls. I don't have time to do this. I don't feel like doing this. So many excuses. And so we're supposed to be stopping that, because she's constantly saying, just stop it. Just stop it. So in my mind, I hear that. When negative thoughts are coming in my mind, I need to just stop it. Stop thinking that way. Stop having that mindset, and realize that that's not doing any good for me, my life, or my business. So remember, girls, just stop it. And then one more thing that I really loved what she was saying is she said, we're constantly in the mindset of I should. And I know I do this all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I should have called Sean today and really encouraged her, but I didn't. Oh my gosh, I should have done the dishes, but I didn't do them. I should have done this for my business. I should have reached out to so-and-so. I should have called so-and-so. And she said to stop shooting all over yourself. And that just cracked me up. I was like, you know what? It's true. Because we all think, oh my gosh, there are so many things that we should do in life. So instead of saying I should have done, I should have done, I should have done, we need to actually do them. We need to set aside our time and say, this is what I'm going to do for my life. This is what I'm going to do for my business. And I'm going to take this amount of time to actually get these things done and stop saying I should have always done these things. So those are my little takeaways from Carrie, because I thought she was amazing. And I just really loved everything about what she had to say. And I know that Sandra has some other things to share with us too. So Sandra, go for it.
Hi guys. So just bear with me. I'm still struggling with an annoying cough, and I have not been able to stop while Amy was talking. So I'm just praying that God's going to let that just be done for a few minutes. But I know it's super annoying, so I'm sorry. But yeah, just super excited to just talk with you guys just a little bit about what I took away. Just a few things that Amy was talking about, Carrie Wilkerson. She shared in the beginning, Carrie did, about 3 and 4D or 4Ds, and that first one being our desire, and our drive is the second one, and then desperation. And she talked about how, you know, most of us will have desire and drive, but it's the desperation that gets us where we need to go, you know. And I that's so true. I think when we're desperate for something, we will go to any length to get there. We will do whatever it takes. And so that was just something I was really contemplating. Like, have I really been desperate in this business? Have I really, you know, done what it takes? And no, I haven't. I have had this opportunity in front of me for, I'm ashamed to say, almost 3 years now. And, like Amy was talking about, I had so many excuses. I have 4 kids. They are all in sports. I was working 3 days a week. But like everybody else, I mean, you know, there's people that are working full-time who are diamonds. You know, so they're, you know, I look at that Amy Paul who has 7 kids, and, you know, she homeschools, and that's somebody who has a reason to have excuses. So, and she doesn't, she's a diamond. So, it's all in what we want. And then she goes into those things, that desperation will drive us. It will push us to, but we have to know what our destination is. Maybe for some of us, our destination is, I just want to get my products paid for, and that's okay. But for those of you that are saying, you know, my destination is diamond, or my destination is emerald, or whatever it is for you, it needs to be clear. And I think for me, for so long, I think that I'm a person that's so guilty of comparing myself, feeling like I'm not good enough, I'm not capable of, you know, and so I'm constantly comparing myself, which is absolutely the wrong thing to do, because again, we all have our own journey. We're all going at our own pace. But it's so important. Hi there. To have our destination in mind and have a clear picture of what that is. So when we do that, you know, I just think of the of how in God's word it talks about how nothing can thwart his plan. Like, when he has a plan and a purpose, it's going to happen, whether or not the devil, you know, no matter what the devil tries to do, God's not going to, you know, allow him to stop his plan. And I think, you know, if we can think of that in our own lives and in our business, like, you know, this is my destination. This is my plan, and nothing is going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me from, you know, reaching that goal, whatever it is. So just really having a clear plan, setting your goals, and knowing that you're capable to attain them. Excuse me. And doing whatever it takes to get there. But then the other thing that she said, which really kind of struck me, was she said, we have to agree on the destination with our shareholders. And our shareholders are, you know, our spouses and our kids. And that just hit me hard, because, yeah, my kids want want me to get to diamond because they think, oh, we get, or emerald because they want to go to Hawaii and but do they always want mom, on her phone? Do they always want mom not giving her full attention when they deserve the attention that they, so, and then at another training, one of the ladies was talking about just how, she realized how you really do have to set hours and times because it takes away from your kids and it takes away from your spouse. And she just used the example of her driving in the car and her husband's driving and, she's talking on her cell phone and playing on her cell phone, working, and he's talking and she's not giving him any attention. And he's totally, she's like, And it really, it hit me because so often I'm doing that. I'm doing that with my kids. I'm scrolling through. I'm trying to get a message to somebody and they're like, Mom, da, da, da. And I'm like, yeah, And they're like, you're not even listening. So our shareholders are important. We need to value them. We need to show them that they are valuable to us. Just setting clear hours, if it means that when your kids are home from school, when they first get home, you're not working for an hour, then maybe you say, no, mom's going to go work for an hour, but really, making sure that we're setting aside that time for them and making them feel valuable. And then the last thing I was just going to talk about was she talked about our narrative, which, is our story. What is your story? What, excuse me. Our story can either be a positive story or it can be negative. Like Amy talked about, our mindset and what are we feeding ourselves? And my mindset for so long, my story was a negative story. It was, no, you're never going to get there. Your sister's, more than, is surpassing you and she's got, this and that. And we can get caught up in all that. But the reality is, we have our own story and it might take us, like I said, our journey might take us a little longer than somebody else, the person next to us. But that doesn't matter. It's just, are we going to get there? Are we going to reach our destination? And what are we going to do? What are we going to do to get there? So just take ownership. Take ownership of your business. Take ownership of yourself and what you want to accomplish in this. Again, it's what you setting goals and what you want out of this. But once you set those goals, stick to them and say, I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to give up until I reach them. And if I don't make it this month, I don't make that goal, I'm going to set it for next month. I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to keep going. So, so that's it. That's what I got. A lot of great things from her and from all the other trainings that we had. So I'm going to just see what everybody else has to share. And I think who's next, Kelly?
All right. Good job, Sandra. Thank you. All right. And yes, it is Kelly's turn next, right?
Yep.
All right.
And if you notice, I took Amy Paul's, isn't that her name? I took her idea. I didn't really get ready, but I put earrings on. So, but no, I listening to you guys, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to say. And I just kind of went through my notes and just took a little bit of everything, not really from one specific thing. But the one thing, I guess I never realized about going to Leaders Retreat. I just thought oh yeah, it's easy. We get there. Not easy, but you work hard, you get it, you go. Gosh, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's a big deal and it's great. But this time I really realized wow, out of 450,000 ambassadors, only 4,000 of us were there. And I realized that our team is a lot, not just me and and I'm talking all of us on this whole team and group and everything. We really have our standards set high and we really work awesome. I just, I'll mention a couple things later on when I'm talking, but it was really cool to me to see that and then when we went to, like you said, Amy, all the dinners and stuff and all the different things that we had going on and the things they do for us. And the one thing was also when we went to the Consistency Club dinner, I had earned that. And when we went, out of the 4,000 people that were there, 3,000 of them, or 300 earned the Consistency Club dinner. So when you really start, and when you really put that in perspective, like out of 450,000 ambassadors, like it was just crazy to me. And it just really is so awesome to be there and be around, like you said, all those people we watch videos of, and how they all will just talk to you about anything and help you. And they really put that one plexus really to really put it into practice. And there's a saying, even my husband says it all the time, like, if you want to be like someone, like we look at those diamonds, we look at the emeralds and the people we watch, we're like, oh, I want to be like them. Then you need to be around them. You need to be with them. You need to be watching them. You need to be talking to them. You need to call them. Like, how we're around you, Amy, we need to watch the things that you're doing. And the only way I'm going to watch those people and what they're doing is by getting to Leaders Retreat, so that I can be with them and around them and rubbing shoulders with them and hearing the things. Like in the beginning of this company when I started, and they said, oh, you know, $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like crazy. That's not real. Like, people do that. That's not, no, come on. But now that you're around so many people like that, and all these positive women and men and the way that they're talking, you realize, like, your standards just go up automatically. But you've got to set your destination, like Sandra said, and you've got to set those goals and do it. Like, be on all these calls. You can't say, I want to do it, and not be on the calls and not be with, and not be doing anything. The other thing is, when Alec, it always impresses me how Tarl and Alec, how much they can get across, how much they love us and appreciate us, with 4,000 people sitting in the audience, and yet they still make us all feel so special, and how much I love them so much. And my commitment to the company is like, I really, really, really do feel like this is my family. Like, I do things because I don't want to let Tarl and Alec down. Like, I love them. So when things are going wrong with the back office, with shipments, with things, I know that Tarl and Alec care, because the one thing that Alec had said, he said, what one person can do, so can another person. You have to believe in yourself. There is absolutely no reason whatsoever that with all the women that have made it, men that made it to the top, if they can do it, we can do it too, because we all have the exact same resources, references. We have everything the same. So there is absolutely no reason. And he said also about balancing, and it's very, very important to keep that balance with your family. He said your family needs you need you, and Plexus needs you. So you have got to find time for those three things. And he said his main three things that he has to keep in balance is his family, Plexus, and his religion. And so it's just awesome to have a leader like that, someone leading the company. They were saying even when he's in the office, he'll walk around right at corporate office, and he'll walk around, and if someone's there after hours, he's like, what are you doing here? You pack your stuff up and go home to your family. They need you. I mean, that is the total opposite of what we hear now from our friends and stuff about how my boss made me stay later and I had to do this. They, a lot of them don't care. And their main saying is, if you are blessed, be a blessing. Take the focus off of yourself and put it on someone else. And I just think that just makes me love them even way more. And then be passionate, not passive. So when you're sharing with people and you're talking to people, either about the business or about the products, they will see the passion in your voice and just see in your expressions. If you're being more passive about it, and an example that they used was, you contact someone and they're like, well, let me know if you think you're interested, or I know you're really busy, but if you have time, we can get together. No, it's, oh my gosh, I have amazing products for you. You need to clear your calendar and we need to get together. What day are we going to get together for this? So no, just being so positive and passionate, and people will pick up on that. And with, like I was saying before, with all this stuff that Plexus constantly has for us, the dinners and the $3,000 shopping spree at Nordstrom, where they close the whole Nordstrom in Dallas, close it down for the day for Plexus, for all of the people that earned it to go shopping. So it's like, I want everything Plexus has to offer me. That is my new thing. Like, why are we letting these bonuses go by? Why are we letting these incentives pass us by and us not working to, I mean, we're working, but sacrifice some things, even for a little bit of time. It's not going to be for a long time, but just a little bit of time sacrifice so that you can have these things later. And what was really, really cool, this is probably my biggest takeaway, because I'm a person, like, I need people to be bold and in my face and just tell me how it is. Like, I don't care how bad it is, if you're going to cut me down, whatever. Tell me the truth and tell me how it is. And Amy Kosmowski, when we were at that, the tea room, we went to a luncheon, it was on our team, they were the diamonds and a couple emeralds. We had Amy Kosmowski and then Amy Molesky, Kathleen Hepler, Shannon McComber, and then Gianna Garcia. And so they were giving us all their top things. And Amy Kosmowski had said, they were going around and saying who got promoted and stuff. And then they had said that I had been promoted to Ruby. And so I felt like Amy was talking directly to me at this point, because this was so for me. And she said, so what made you work this? Did you all get the incentive too, that you're all going to get the double bonuses now? And how cool is that? And what made you work hard this month for that promotion? Was it the double bonus? And we were all like, yeah, all excited. And she's like, okay, well, if that's what got you motivated and you're not working your business like that all the time, you're an idiot. And she literally said, like, you should be working. Why are you not working like that all the time? You're going to work like that, get an extra $500 for 1 month. Why would you not work that way all the time and get all that money every month as you're building your team? And so that really, really like stuck out to me, because like I said, that's how I learn best, with when people talk like that to me. So,
all right. We're all going to be in your face from now on, Kelly.
Right. It is. And then like what you were saying about the pillar and all that, and the cocoon. And she said, are you ready for a metamorphosis? Like, do it. Be determined and do it. And what was really cool about that too is when she had everybody, she said, okay, if you've ever been in a bad relationship, had any kind of relationship issues, stand up. So then everyone stood up. She said, stay standing. And then she said, have you ever had financial problems? Stand up. Have you ever had weight issues or any kind of emotional problems or anything? So everybody was standing up. And then she said, I want you to look around the room. We all have the same DNA. We are all human. We are all the same. The only thing that is going to make us different is your mindset. How are you going to change? And what are you going to determine your destination? And just do it and press forward and go. And this I hear a lot too, which this is really good, because I'm always trying to help everybody on my team. And I want to like keep calling people and keep messaging them, and then they message me back or they don't message me back. And I feel like it's something I'm doing. And like what they said, Jana said, pour into the ones who want it, run with them, grow yourself with them, and grow into your position. So run with the people who want it, and still love on people, who aren't constantly asking questions and stuff. Of course, you're going to love on everyone, but really run with your runners and support them and help to develop them, because we can't make somebody want something. A lot of times we want it for them more than they do. And so just love on them, but run with your runners. So I think that's all I had.
All right. Well,
Is that,
thank you, Kelly. Nice job and good tips. Awesome. And now it is Alyssa's turn to share with us. So the rest of us will mute ourselves and you go for it, Alyssa.
Great. So one of the things that I wanted to focus on was that through a couple different Jewel panels, something that I heard multiple times and that we often hear in a lot of different trainings is stop comparing yourself. And, you know, there's a part of me that really liked what Carrie Wilkinson said about just stop it. But then there's another part of me that's like, on those days when I have just gotten one too many no's and I'm feeling down, I'm feeling discouraged, telling myself to just stop it doesn't always work. And for me, you know, maybe if I heard that from somebody else, that might be different, but to just tell myself to stop it often doesn't get ourselves out of that hole that we are digging ourselves into with that negative mindset. And so the more discouraged we get, the more we start having those negative thoughts in our head and those negative voices, it gets harder and harder to, you know, pull ourselves out. And so one of the things that several people talked about that I've actually heard in about 4 different trainings that I've seen just since getting back from Texas was how action kills discouragement. That action is what is going to move you forward, that's going to get you out of that the negative mindsets, that's going to move you forward in your business. And for me, sometimes I think, okay, action, I need to start messaging more people. And yet sometimes it's the no's that has gotten me into that negative mindset. And I'm so scared of another no that I just can't bring myself to send that next message. And so what I have found for me, the action that I need to do is that personal growth focus. I need to watch a video, seeing some of our leaders and seeing them with that encouragement, with sometimes the examples of say, I mean, here's the exact sentence, send this, say this. And they just give us some of those scripts of what to say. Or they talk about how to get yourself out of that negative mindset. Those training videos often inspire so much to then move forward with more action. So either watching a training video or sitting down and reading a personal growth book, those are the action steps that I need, that a lot of us need to then be able to move forward with some of those IPA actions. But just focusing on where somebody else got a promotion or somebody else is this rank and they started after me, or all of those things that we do when comparing with other people are not just keeping us where we're at, but they're moving us backwards. And action is what's going to kill that discouragement and move you forward with growth. The other thing that I wanted to focus on was the aspect of how valuable I felt the Jewel panels were. There was an event that they called Beyond Leaders Retreat that was separate from Leaders Retreat, and I found it to be so valuable in the training it provided on the products and then all of the training from the Jewel panel. And that's a training that you guys can watch from, you know, it's posted in our team page. You can go and watch that and experience that. And those trainings are so valuable and inspiring and encouraging and motivating. You know, the dinners were great. The parties were fantastic. But to me, the most valuable pieces of Leadership Retreat was the Beyond Leadership Retreat training event, and then the Jewel panel that our team provided. And so the thing is that you don't have to wait until next year's Leadership Retreat and earn that specific, you know, prize to be able to experience that. There are events in every state all the time. I mean, you may have to drive a few hours to get to them, but this was, hours of flights and days away, that we can't do that all the time. We can't wait a whole nother year to experience the training and the motivation that's coming from that training to build our business. And those events are what encourage us and motivate us. And they say leaders are born at events, but you don't have to wait until next year's leadership retreat to do that. Find an event local to you. Create one if you don't have one. Even if it's just you and one other person getting together, that is something that is going to, grow your business and keep you moving down that road towards success. And so look around, look in your neighboring states. Where are some upcoming events? Super Saturday is coming. If you're not going to that, there's no, what other excuses are you going to make? The events are one of the biggest things that motivates me and motivates our team to grow. And so finding those events is something that I think is going to be so valuable for you to grow your business, even if it's small. But finding those events, especially if there are jewels or diamonds that are going to be there, those are things that you can do now and not wait for next year's leadership retreat. And so that's something that I think was one of my biggest takeaways, is looking for more events to get involved in, more jewels to listen to, because that is what is often the motivation and the inspiration that I need, especially during those times where we start to get down with where we're at. And so that's going to be the step a lot of us need to grow. So.
All right. Well, that was awesome advice, Alyssa. Thank you. So very cool. Well, ladies, we had a blast. We had so much fun. And like Alyssa said, you don't really have to wait until next year, although I want you all to make it there next year. But there will be exciting things coming up. We will have so many things on our team that we can do as a team. We have the Silver and 7-Day Challenge. If you guys are not in that, I would love for you to join in on that and be a part of that. And then there will also be things happening in our area coming up for the holidays and different events and things that we are going to be doing, I know, here in Michigan. And I know the other parts of our teams in other parts of the country might also offer similar things. So yes, definitely get to those. Thank you, ladies, so much for being on this call tonight. I am going to stop recording because then we can just chat. So.